Hi guys, welcome back to part 3. In part 1 and part 2 we have learned the basic node to orchestrate a workflow, such as a if and else node, the classifier node, etc. And up to now we see that the workflow we built, it always followed a predefined structure. Even when we use some if and else node, classifier node, the structure was still designed by us, but the problems cannot be fully predefined, right? Sometimes we have the goal, right? If you know the goal, but you don't know the exact sequence of steps, so that comes in the agent node. And in this lesson, I will tell you something about agent node. So let's see what the agent is about. So you can go to the document here and check the agent. So let's see the definitions first. So for the agent node gives your LM autonomous control over tools, so enabling it to iteratively decide which tools to use and when to use them. So you see, instead of pre-planning every step like a workflow, the agent reasons through problems dynamically, calling tools as needed to complete complex text. So here in the real workflow, you can click this plus sign and click this agent, so you will see something like this. Okay, and the first blank you will see is an agentic strategy. So you will see there are two selection, functioning calling and react. You can go to the document again to see what they are. For the functioning calling, it will use its LM native functioning calling compatibilities to directly pass Torus definitions through the Torus parameters. Okay, which means if you have a prompt, the LM will extract the parameters and send these parameters to the Torus. Okay, so the LM can decide when and how to call the Torus using its built-in mechanisms. But for the React, so pay attention to this circle, sort, action, observation, this circle. So usually for an React, it have like 3 to 5 iterations for a React. Okay, so after each circle, you see the last step is observation, right? So it will observe whether the result is good or not. So if the result is good, okay, just stop the iterations. So just output the correct ones. So this is the React. Okay, so here you'll see if you click the functioning calling, the configuration is like this, and if you click the React, so it seems the same. Okay, so just give the function calling as an example. Let's see what is the details of a functioning calling. So in the configuration, you will see first is modal selections. It's modal selection, right? So this is a required one. You can configure the model. So here I just choose the GPT-4. Oh, okay. So here the model you select should be good at reasoning. Okay, good at reasoning. And the tools list is where you put the external tools or the tools that you publish, those the workflows that you publish as a tool. Okay, so in this tools you should have some configurations. Okay, and also after you select the tool, let's give a tool as an example. I just choose a YouTube tools. And you will see also instructions, context, and query. Let's see what they are. So for the instructions, first of all, it is the agent's role, goals, okay, and context using natural language instructions. So this is usually where you assign this agent a role. Okay, you're gonna give this agent a prompt to introduce what its role is, okay, and what it should do. So for example, here I select a model, select as a torus, and in the instructions, I type extract the keywords based on user suggestions and input these keywords into the YouTube plugin. So that is the instructions we should have. Okay? And also, let's see query. Query specifies a user's input or tasks the agent should work on. This can be dynamically content from previous workflow nodes. So just easy to understand. The query, here I just put the variable a from the user input. Okay, so that is a query, the user request. Okay, and maximum iterations, so usually 3 to 5. Okay, and also the memory, but memory seems some more advanced, so now I will not use this. Okay, so let's try it. So before we try it, let's see what this tour is about. Okay, so this tour is to search YouTube videos by keywords and get the most viewed videos with their informations. So according to a keyword which is a string type, and it will select or it will search for the videos which have the highest viewed counts, okay, in a descending orders, and this is the maximum result it will output. And I just select include title as true and also as false, so it will output like 10 titles according to the keywords. Okay, so that is for the tours. So let's have a try about this agent. You can just run this step, and here is the user request. Let's just check for Gemini, because Gemini is quite popular. Gemini Pro, for example. So that is a keyword I give it. So you can see the output directly. Okay, you can see the output directly. The output should be, okay, torus response, right? Torus response. And the input should be what? The input should be query, right? So that is the input, query. And also the instructions, right? The instructions and the query. So the instructions will use this query to conclude a keyword, because here this is Gemini 3 Pro, and that is already a keyword. So in the output you'll see the keyword has been the Gemini 3 Pro. Okay, so according to the keyword, it will use this torus to get the titles, the 10 titles, just like it. Okay, and yeah, that is for the agent node. You can also use the React node to have a test. Okay, just pay attention to this kind of things, this observation. So it says this will works well with models that may not have native functioning core, or when you need explicit reasoning traces, which usually means when your prompt, your query is not clear. Okay, you can use the React to use the LM to help you judge, okay, to judge your query and give some actions. So that is for the agent node. In this lesson, we explored the agent node. We saw that an agent is not just a strong LLM core, it is a different design choice. Instead of defining every step in the workflow, we define a goal, a set of tools, and clear instructions. Then the agent decides what to do next. And we also looked at agent strategies such as function, calling, and react. We also see the tool configurations, iteration limits. Okay, so these are not just settings actually, they are architectural decisions. Okay, architectural decisions. So when you use an agent, you're kind of shifting decision making from the workflow structure into the model itself. So that gives flexibility actually, but it also introduces the complexity and cost. So remember this: use the workflows when the path is not, and use the agents when only the goal is not. And an agent is not a placement for structure, it is a way to handle uncertainty. So in the next lesson, we'll step back from decision making and look at something that often appears in advanced workflow design, that is iteration and loop. Because before we automate reasoning, we need to understand how repetition works inside workflows. And I will see you in the next video.